Hi, hope all are keeping well. Many thanks for attending here today. My name's Howard Murphy. I'm the Business Development Manager here at DB Computers. You're all very welcome to our Fireside Chat on this beautiful spring morning at the beautiful Woodlands House Hotel. Over the next 20 minutes or so, my colleague Mark Donaldson of Roveel and our client Alan Lynch of the Woodlands House Hotel are discussing the success of implementing Roveel's analytical dashboards with their existing Sage Accounts package and how it's benefited their day-to-day processes and how it's helped them overcome some recent challenges. So before I hand over to Mark and Alan, I might add, please feel free to put forward any comments or questions, which I'll be happy to put to the guys at the end of the session. So without further ado, I'm just going to hand you over to the guys and we'll kick off straight away.
Fantastic. Good morning, everybody. Apologies for the technical issues there. Live broadcasting. Hey, right, fantastic. So I'm joined here this morning with Alan Lynch from Woodlands House Hotel. It's a pleasure to be here on such a glorious sunny day, and it's glorious. Spring is here. So, Alan, you've been working with Roveel for how long now?
Since April last year.
April last year. Fantastic. So what were you doing? What were you doing before Roveel? What was your sort of processes? I'm keen to kind of understand how much things have changed on your side through using Roveel in the business. Yeah.
Well, really, prior to Roveel, we had Sage 50, and we've had that for a number of years. And like a lot of other businesses, what we did is we exported reports, trial balance and stuff like that from Sage to Excel, and then just populated appendices.
Okay.
Right? So I suppose in hindsight, looking at it, it wasn't terribly professional in terms of the way we presented data. It was very much, as I said, Excel based. So when I first got in contact with DB and system was brought to my attention, I had two objectives really. The first one was to move away from dependence on Excel. I wanted something that was much more engaging for a reader of the accounts, monthly accounts, quarterly accounts, annual accounts. And also I was very conscious of having access on my phone or wherever I had internet access to financial information. So they were my two key objectives.
Fantastic. That's good to know. So because it's cloud based, you can access it wherever you are. So who are those readers of the information? So presumably they were using Excel, and they may not be Excel experts or understand they can break it. As using Roveel helped them, they can't break it. They can see the information there. How do you interact? How do those users do it? Do they log in? On a day-to-day basis? How do you give them access? How does it work?
That's a fair point. Well, first of all, it's a family-owned business here, the Fitzgerald family. So when I talk about presenting financial information, it's predominantly the Fitzgerald family themselves.
Okay.
Yep. So as somebody who deals a lot with Excel, I don't particularly enjoy looking at other people's Excel documents. So without ever telling me straight out what they thought of my Excel documents, I'm sure they much prefer the presentation of the way it is in Roveel. So what we have tried to do is to try and present our reports, our dashboards that we've now created on Roveel to reflect the way they would have appeared on Excel.
Okay.
But the beauty about it is it's all interactive. As you say, you can't break Sage. You can't break Sage by using Roveel.
Correct.
Excel is not interactive. Roveel is. It allows the drill down. It allows access to information that's relevant to different members of the family. So they all have different areas of interest. So what they're interested in,
they can go and find their piece of information that's important to them. And they can all use it differently. Okay, that's great. That's really good to hear. So, I guess the pandemic brought about some of the change in terms of accessing information. When did you kind of was it the pandemic that drove you to that change point for the Excel, or was it just in terms of time to implement and things like that? You had a bit more time to implement because things were quieter, or how did it sort of come about?
Yeah, well, trying to present financial data virtually to people is difficult at the best of times. Doing it in Excel isn't particularly fun either. And as I said, what I was particularly keen to do was to allow them to have access to the Sage information
without having access to Sage.
Without needing to have access to Sage.
Yeah.
So they have access to all the KPIs in real time. If they want to go back and see what something was in 2016, they can do that in Roveel with a couple of clicks of a button.
Yeah,
So
fantastic.
it was just all about ease of access, and COVID was a big part of that. Also, I suppose it accelerated that, but I think it was something the direction we were going in anyway. Okay,
fantastic. And in terms of what it was about a year ago, in terms of the sort of the setup process and getting you up and running, how was that experience? How long did it take? Can you remember complexities around that? Was it?
No, I would say there was zero complexities because it was very straightforward. We had a demo with your team. Then they installed it, so we have a trial period. I think it was set up in about half an hour.
Yeah.
So there's no setup cost, which was great from my perspective in terms of just to see what it could do, just to test drive it. So as far as I was concerned, the setup very, very easy, very seamless. In terms of training, there's minimal training involved, which I can't say about a lot of other accounting systems. So really, it's just a case of, it's almost self-explanatory in how it's used.
Good, good. And that's how we've designed it to be as a plug and play, as simple and easy to use as possible from wherever you are. So kind of taking that Sage data and bringing it to life for whatever business. And it works for all different types of businesses. So in terms of the main reason, obviously, you wanted to try the product was the over-reliance, moving away from the Excel side of things. What's a sort of favourite feature? I know we've worked on some custom dashboards with you and sort of bespoke your P&L with some KPIs and things like that, drawing information out. What would you say your favourite feature is of the platform as a whole?
Yeah. Well, that dashboard you mentioned there, that is my pride and joy now. To give an example of how I use it, obviously we're starting March, start of a new month, but we're finalising our February month-end accounts. So I'm able to log in every morning, and my dashboard P&L will appear. It shows me all my KPIs, and I can see at a glance, what areas still aren't finished. I can see, for example, if all the repairs invoices have been approved or not. I can pick up the phone and say to the guy in charge of maintenance, I can tell from the figure on their P&L, you still have approved everything. I can tell at a glance what our wage percentage is, what our food margin might be, what our drinks margin might be. So that dashboard I have has all the KPIs that at a glance.
Instantly.
I know instantly, and that they're the KPIs that the business will want to see as well.
Okay, fantastic. So that dashboard saves you time in terms of the you'd have to have run that out into Excel, manipulated it, done it, and then and I've been there as well. You look at it and go, oh, that's missing. I'm missing a journal. I'm missing some invoices. You then go and do it again, rerun, do it, dump it back out into Excel, rerun the model. Whereas that's all gone.
That's gone. Yeah, that's gone. Time is precious for all of us. None of us want to be rerunning reports from Sage to Excel to import into another document. It doesn't add value. We want to be adding value in the roles that we're in. So
fantastic.
Time.
Okay, no, brilliant. So is the time-saving thing probably, is that the best? In terms of sort of how you interact with Roveel, would you say that's the key benefit, or is it the sharing of information, or is it all of the whole kind of experience, as it were?
Well, to be honest, I have 4 or 5 things that I've really gotten from Roveel. I'd say first of all, the objective of having information on any kind of mobile device that we can have. Fitzgeralds might want to access the information. It's made that incredibly easy. Second of all, in terms of, and there's things that I've learned as we've gone along with the package that I hadn't kind of thought would be significant when we first got it.
Okay.
So in terms of budgeting, I mean, now after this, I'm going to be the rest of the day in a budget.
Okay. Fantastic.
reviewing budgets for the rest of the year, the only tool I have with me is Roveel.
Wow. Okay.
Because we can, we can look at comparisons to last year, the year before, and right back to 2016 when we first put Sage 50 in. So, we've obviously had a strange couple of years. So if I'm looking at budgets and forecasts for the year, there's not much point in comparing to 2021 or 2020. Right. We need to have access to the information before.
We're seeing a lot of people, needing to refer back to 2019 and before, and you can do that easily. Just to change the date range. So, okay. So in terms of, I guess, kind of, why would you recommend our Roveel in terms of?
Reasons, and I'll harp back to it because I've probably mentioned them already. One is the ease of accessing financial information. Gone are the days where we're all stuck to a desk, waiting for reports to come in. Those days are gone. Okay. People want access to information.
You've got access to it. Yeah.
You've got access to it. I mean, the Fitzgeralds are very active people, heavily involved in different organisations. If they're at meetings and they want to know what our insurance cost was 5 years ago, they have that access on their phone.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's huge. I find what it does is it empowers them. When they're sitting down, we're looking at projects for the next year or two, and we can pull out the financial data in terms of trying to calculate what payback might be in a project. We can pull out, show, for example, what's doing an energy project. How much we're spending on energy, how much have we spent each year for the last 5 or 6 years. We have that information, and we can say that if a project reduced our energy bill by 10-20%,
could easily work out the same.
And that's information that's much harder to glean from Excel.
And previously, you'd have been asked for that, whereas they can self-serve. They go and get it themselves. They can do the calculations and look at the energy costs over a 5-year period and say, right, if we invest this in solar PV, for example, then it's going to reduce it down. They can do that sort of rough calculation without needing to require you to go into multiple Sage years and pull out all the data.
I found personally that sending out an Excel report leads to queries. And really what you want is, when you're having a financial meeting, you want momentum in the meeting. You don't want people coming back with queries you don't have the answers to. So having Roveel has the answers there. If they want to drill down through an area that's of particular interest to them, they can do it on Roveel in front of them. It keeps that momentum going.
You can drill into the underlying transactions behind it. So if you say, there's £5,000 in advertising in February, what was that? Historically, you'd have to go back to Sage to go, let me go and look at the mapping from Excel back to your management account pack to the nominal codes which go into there, then go to Sage, look up, go, is that invoice for PR or marketing advertising? Whereas within Roveel, you can right click and drill in at any level just to see what it is.
Drill down is a big help.
Fantastic.
It keeps the momentum going in a meeting.
You
don't lose your audience.
Brilliant.
It's
fantastic. I know we're working on some custom profit and loss stuff for you at the moment with various ratios and things as well. So we've got the ability to bespoke it for you. So there's the out of the box solution, and then we go on and bespoke it for the business. So fantastic.
My aim for Roveel is that I replace completely my month-end, quarter-end Excel appendices with Roveel. So at the end of the month, or at the end of the quarter, or at the end of the year, I can say to the Fitzgeralds, okay, the accounts are done.
It's there, on Roveel.
Here's my commentary to go with it, or whatever we want to go with it. But the information is there,
it's all there,
and they know how to find it.
Fantastic. Brilliant. Thank you very much. I know we've got time for a Q&A, and I believe I've got the any questions coming through. I'm just going to look at my mobile here because they're feeding through onto here. So, okay, so we've probably sort of covered this, but what did you feel was the immediate win for you on having the solution implemented? So, question for you. So that immediate win. What would you have said that was?
I think it was the presentation of information. You know, Excel, as I said, it's very two-dimensional. It doesn't entice the reader.
Yeah.
Say, Roveel does, and the ability then to drill down on any key parts that you're particularly interested in. So I would say for me, it's the big one.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you. So, it's a question for me in terms of how long does it generally take for you to get Roveel up and running? So, the installation process is 3 or 4 minutes. It's a case of go onto the website, roveel.com, hit sign up, put your email address in. You download a widget, installs on the server or the PC, wherever the Sage data is stored, and then once that's pointed at that correct data set, leave it for half an hour or so. You'll get a welcome email once it's processed through, and you've got access to all the dashboards. It will map everything through automatically, and then it synchronizes every evening. So it's 3 or 4 minutes, and it's there. Another question here. Can I access the dashboards on my phone? Yeah, absolutely. So I don't know if do you access? You do? Yeah.
It's sad to say.
Yeah. So weekends, evenings. Yeah, sitting there having a look. Yeah, it works on mobile, tablet because it's a website, a web app that you access. You can access it wherever you are. From wherever. And on my phone, I've saved it as a bookmark on my desktop on my phone. So one click and I'm in straight away. So yeah.
Can't escape work there.
I can't escape it. No, you're always there. So fantastic. Okay. So some more questions coming in. Sorry, let me just read these. So, have you found it easier to convey messages around your key objectives to suppliers and your team when it's more visual rather than 2D and Excel? So I guess it's about their kind of their understanding. Is it easier for them to understand it through Roveel than it would from the Excel?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, some people absorb numbers very quickly. Some people absorb visuals in terms of graphs and other diagrams. Roveel has both. You know, you log in and immediately you're hit with financial graphs and presentations in different formats. So it does help. You know, personally, I like to see the numbers in front of me, and I gravitate towards that. I know members of the team, members of the family, like to see the diagrams, like to see the charts, and that works very well for them.
I always think, I mean, I'm an accountant, was my background, but I work with tables, but a lot of people are very visual, and actually seeing your sales over a period of time compared to whatever last quarter or whatever in visually as a graphic. For those that are not that sort of tabular, it works so well, and it caters for both because you can do it. So okay, fantastic. Any other questions? Anything I've missed that you want to tell the audience from your perspectives, or anything? Any sort of lasting comments from yourself?
I don't want to sound like a broken record. I personally am in Fitzgeralds Woodlands House Hotel. I found it a great benefit to us. I said we've been working with it now for almost 12 months. Yeah. And it has made a difference. It provides that easy access to financial information that business needs.
Yep.
As I said, you know, Excel is a fantastic tool.
It is, yep.
But it's very limited in what it can do. And in terms of digesting information, it makes it far easier.
Yep.
You know, and actually, I spoke there earlier on about some of the hidden benefits to it, and I suppose I'm still learning as we go along with it. But I've definitely found month ends in terms of preparing budgets. I found it
saves time.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. So the time saving. So is it in terms of your month end process? Has it increased or reduced the time to increase the efficiency of doing that month end process?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've gone away completely from sending stuff to Excel from Sage and then importing it into my appendices and kind of have proof checking it then. I can do my proof checking now on Roveel.
You can sit at home and do it in the evening.
Well, I won't admit to that.
Fantastic. Okay, there's another question come in. Do you connect to EPOS/CRM and Sage to produce dashboards, KPIs, etc.? So we're currently working on our API integration, which will allow us to integrate with other tools. So kind of watch this space over the next couple of months in terms of what we're going to be able to interact with. We're just about to launch our Sage 200 product integration there, and a few other things as well. So yeah, absolutely. If there's an API, we'll be able to hook into that. That's a conversation we need to have as well. So, yeah, fantastic. Brilliant. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much for your time. Really appreciate it.
And just to close out, many thanks to everyone for attending today. Apologies for the communications issue earlier. Unforeseen gremlins, I'm afraid. We hope we've opened your eyes to the potential available utilizing your own Sage data. If there are any subsequent queries, or if anyone would like a one-to-one session, please feel free to contact me at howard@dbcomp.ie, where we can give you details around any specific dashboards which would suit your business best, and further details around pricing. My thanks once again to both Mark and Alan for their time and presentation, and also to our own Natalie Cook for helping us put this Fireside Chat together today. Many thanks again for all your questions, and have a great day.